You know that moment when you've finally saved up enough for a home theater upgrade, you've got a 4K projector humming in the corner, and then the whole idea of a screen feels like a gamble? I've been there scrolling through endless options, worrying I'll pick something that looks great on paper but ends up being a waste of space and cash. The thing that tripped me up most was figuring out whether a motorized floor-rise screen is really worth the extra effort compared with a simple pull-down or a painted wall. So before you make a decision, let's walk through what it actually feels like to live with the IN&VI ALR Motorized Floor-Rising Projector Screen, and see if it matches the lifestyle you're trying to build. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the biggest promise of any floor-rise screen is the invisible screen news appeal. If you share a living room with kids, pets, or you just don't want a massive white rectangle dominating the space when you're not watching movies, a screen that tucks away into the floor can feel like a magic trick. The IN&VI model does exactly that. It slides down from a recessed box, then rises up on a motorized track when you press a button, a voice command, or fire up the companion app. The whole motion takes about 3 seconds, which feels snappy enough that you don't have to wait an eternity before the first frame appears. Installation is where the rubber meets the road for many DIY enthusiasts, and the easy installation claim isn't just marketing fluff. The package includes a pre-drilled floor panel that you bolt into place, a motor unit, and all the wiring you need to connect to a standard 120V outlet. Because the screen is designed for a standard 120-inch 16:9 format, you don't have to measure a custom length. You simply line up the panel with the projector's throw distance, which the manufacturer lists as compatible with both long throw and standard throw lenses. I found that using a laser level to ensure the panel sits perfectly square with the wall made the later rise and fall operation smooth, with no wobble at the edges. Now, let's talk about the picture itself. The screen surface is advertised as high-quality visuals with a 160-degree viewing angle. In practice, that translates into a fairly forgiving window for where you can sit. I tested it from the usual couch spot, then from a side chair about 6 feet to the left, and the image stayed bright and color accurate without any noticeable hot spotting. The anti-blue light eye protection coating is a subtle but welcome addition if you binge watch late into the night. The whites feel a shade softer, reducing that harsh glare that can make your eyes feel tired after a few hours. One of the features that actually made a difference in my day-to-day use was the voice and app control integration. The screen pairs with most smart home hubs that support Alexa or Google Assistant, so you can say, "Hey Google, lower the screen," and it slides down while the projector powers up automatically, if you set up a routine. The companion app is equally handy for those moments when you're already on your phone scrolling through a streaming service. A single tap drops the screen and you're ready to press play. The motor itself is fairly quiet. I could barely hear it over the movie soundtrack, which is a relief because a noisy motor can ruin immersion. But no product is without trade-offs, and this one has a few that are worth flagging before you click Add to Cart. The biggest hidden cost is the floor box itself. You need a recessed area that's at least 12 inches deep to accommodate the motor and screen roll, which means you either have to have a pre-existing drop ceiling or be willing to cut into your flooring. If you're renting or have a carpeted space that you can't modify, that could be a deal breaker. Also, the motor draws a moderate amount of power, so you'll want to make sure the outlet you plan to use isn't already overloaded with other home theater gear. Another practical consideration is the screen's thickness when it's raised. At full height, the screen adds about 3 inches to the floor height in that spot. That's generally fine for a dedicated media room, but if you have a small apartment and need a smooth transition between living space and the screen area, you'll notice the bump. People who like to place a coffee table or a low rug right in front of the screen might need to rearrange their furniture a bit. Who should buy this screen? If you're a cinephile who already owns a 4K or 8K projector, values a clean look aesthetic, and you have the freedom to modify your floor or a pre-existing drop ceiling, the motorized rise gives you the best of both worlds: a pristine wall when you're not watching, and a proper gain screen when you are. It also makes sense for families with kids. The screen is out of reach when retracted, reducing the chance of accidental tears. And if you love